So clear goals, metrics, structure, and assessing your achievement at the end of the day. This is the absolute secret of success. So do that. Now, two very important points. One is the importance of consistency. In life, the people who achieve the most are not the people who are the fastest, they are not the people who are the most intelligent, they are not the people who are the most talented, they are the people who are the most consistent. Because consistency is the base of trust. Consistency produces trust, and trust is the base of leadership. If you want to be a leader, you want to be trusted, because nobody will follow someone they distrust. And how can you be trusted? By being consistent, by your word being your law, by developing a reputation. And you do not develop a reputation by talking about it, you develop a reputation by showing it, by demonstrating it. By developing, you become trusted. By developing a reputation of being somebody who always delivers on that promise. So if I say to you that I will do something and it doesn't happen, then it means that I'm dead. And then you can make dua for me. Because if I told you that I would do something, and if I was not able to do it, either not able to do it at all, or not able to deliver in time, then I would get back to you. I will never leave you in the lurch. I will never be in a situation where you are sitting there wondering, I said this to him, is he doing it, is he not doing it, what's going on? This will never happen if you give me a job. This is how I have lived all my life, alhamdulillah. And this is the reason why I have found great satisfaction and great success, and I have made wonderful friends because of this. Becoming trustworthy, becoming somebody that people can rely on. People follow those who they can rely on. So being able to rely on you is number one thing in the context of being a leader. So become reliable. How do you become reliable? By being consistent in your delivery. Consistency is the secret. The other thing connected with this is, don't overdo it, but always under promise, over deliver. Everyone likes to be delighted. They like to have nice surprises, not nasty shocks. So what's a nice surprise and a nasty shock? Under promise, over delivery is a nice surprise. Over promise, under delivery, or no delivery is a nasty shock. Nobody likes nasty shocks. You don't like it, others don't like it either. So don't give people nasty shocks. Under promise, over deliver. There is this tendency because of hubris or because of just over enthusiasm, overconfidence, or whatever, of promising people the earth and the moon combined. And obviously you can't do it. And then when you don't do it and somebody calls you out on that, then you have this whole litany of excuses. Oh, but you see, this happened, that happened, and so on, and you should be reasonable. How can anyone do this? If somebody cannot do this, how come that person promised to do it? The person who promised to do it is responsible for doing it. So if you promise to do something, then it's your job to ensure that you do it, and that's the reason why be very careful what you promise. But once you promise, you are bound by your word. And if you promise and you're not bound by your word, then you are an untrustworthy character. Quite obviously, you are not somebody who is fit to lead. People will not trust you and they will not follow you. So becoming trustworthy and reliable is very, very critically important. And for that, consistency is the call. Final thing, because this is a very common thing that I am seeing and I have been seeing in the last few years, and that is people's readiness to give up, the ease with which they give up. I mentioned this earlier as well, which is somebody in a college degree which it takes maybe 4 years or something in between, you get bored and you leave. Now, and you say, well, I didn't like it. The point is that why do you believe that this decision to leave is any better than was your decision to do it in the first place? Because that was also your subjective decision. This is also your subjective decision. So always see things to a conclusion. See things through to the end. This is very, very important. And this all ties down with being reliable, ties down with consistency, ties down with delivering on promises. All of these are the same things. So make sure that you stick in there and you do not give up. Good morning. Giving up is cowardice. It shows that you are a coward. So don't give up. Stick in there. And understand that in life, that life is really a marathon. It's not a sprint. So in life, the people who win are the people who simply stay in the race long enough. You win not because you were the fastest. You may not have been the fastest. There were people ahead of you, but those people stopped and those people gave up, and you didn't give up. And when you get to the prize, lo and behold, you are the only one there. So sticking to what you promised to do, staying in there, not getting sidetracked, and not giving up. This is very, very important. Today we live in a world which Ed Batista calls the tyranny of feelings. It's a wonderful quote which he says that we give this super legitimacy to our feelings. I mentioned this earlier also in the earlier broadcast, but it's worth repeating. We give this super legitimacy to our feelings, that something is good for no reason other than I think it is good. There's no other reason. It's good because I say so. It's good because I think so. Now this is complete nonsense, and it's a form of arrogance where you think that your feelings are so critically important. Ed Batista says that we give legitimacy to our feelings, and we feel that whatever we want should happen, and if somebody goes against that, then it is their job to change themselves and bring themselves in line with our feelings. So this is complete nonsense. It is, as I said, it's total arrogance, and it is something that if you are in this place, then I would suggest get out of that place. It's not a nice place to be. Some level of humility is very important, because you might think you are the most important person in the world, but believe me, you are not. You are not, I am not. The world is full of wonderful people. All of them have rights and privileges, just like you and I have. And to imagine that theirs are in any way inferior to ours is a sign of pure arrogance and nothing else, and definitely not something that I think one should have. So be very clear in your mind. Don't fall into the tyranny of feelings. This tyranny of feelings is really the foundation. It's at the base of practically every social evil that we see in the world today. You name it and dig down, and it comes out of the tyranny of feelings. People make some very stupid statements. For example, I'm sure you must have heard the statement where people say, you're talking about somebody, they say, oh, as long as they're happy, it's okay. As long as they're happy, it's okay. That's all that matters. That's the most stupid statement that anyone can ever make. Because there are many people who are very happy doing some extremely toxic things. The drug addict is very happy when he gets his shot. The alcoholic is very happy when he's in his bottle. The fact that he has destroyed his family doesn't matter to him. The fact that because he was driving drunk, he crashed into somebody else's car and that person is maimed for life, doesn't matter to him. Nothing matters to him except that he is happy. And if you are going to tell me that this is good and this is okay, this is correct, then I must tell you that I'm sorry, I completely and totally disagree. It is not good, it can never be good, and that's the kind of thinking which is at the bottom of everything, all the evil in the world. What I'm showing you here is something called the kingbird. He doesn't look like much, but he's called the kingbird, and he's preening himself, and then he flew away. So, tyranny of feelings, let's stay away from that. It is the worst possible thing that we can do to ourselves is to follow into the tyranny of feelings. Let me end this with showing you a view of this sundial which is here, and the kingbird seems to want to be in the picture also. That's nice. So this is the sundial which is here. It's made of a wheel of some kind, a gear wheel, I think it is. It says 5678L and there's a 1. I don't claim to understand what it means, but anyway, there it is for you. Finally, this is a view of the lake in Forest Park in Springfield, and this is where one of the places where I come for my walk in the morning. And final picture, I hope a nice one, of the sunbird at rest is there for you. Where is he? There he is.